Tonight, China's war on comedy. This is a story we first told you about last week. A Chinese comedian telling a harmless joke about the Communist Party. It was about squirrels and a dog. He's now facing possible arrest after being faced with a $2 million fine. And anyone who publicly supported him has been punished as well. But Xi Jinping is not stopping there. In fact, shows across China are actually getting canceled now. The government is now reportedly asking performers to submit their scripts for vetting and approval. Will Ripley is out front.
With a flashy open live audience and opening monologue, this Chinese comedy show almost looks like late night TV in the U.S. until you turn up the volume.
The spirit of General Secretary Xi Jinping's speech: the country is the people.
The jokes are Communist Party propaganda, punctuated by silly sound effects, parroted back by a studio audience that almost resembles after-school detention. A fate far worse than detention awaits comedians who may be tempted to push party rules as China exercises very tight control over comedy shows. Li Haoshi, known by his stage name House, was doing a skit about stray dogs chasing a squirrel earlier this month. He said they reminded him of 8 words, a popular party slogan for the People's Liberation Army. That joke and those 8 words landed House in the doghouse. A 2021 law bans insults on the Chinese military. House is now under police investigation in Beijing, suspended indefinitely, plus a massive $2 million fine on his former employer, a fledgling industry now in danger. All that after the comedian posted a public apology, promising to deeply reflect and re-educate himself. House joins a growing list of comedians canceled in China for jokes that run afoul of the authorities. Some even made outside the country. In February, comedian Che Zi joked about not being able to go home after he told jokes critical of the Chinese Communist Party on his Canadian tour. His name erased from most Chinese social media.
I'm an independent woman.
The rules more relaxed for comedians in Hong Kong. In the Chinese territory, you won't go to jail for jokes like this. At least, not yet.
Was asking me about what's the deal with like China and Taiwan. I was like, it's actually really simple. Like China and Taiwan, you'd be like, say I would ask a girl, like this girl, and then she rejected me. She said no, and then I still went around telling everyone she's my girlfriend.
Stand-up comedians say self-censorship is already silencing sensitive jokes.
We would always say, like, you know, the first comedian to go to jail for telling a political joke is going to be a hero, and none of us want to be that hero. It is tougher because comedy for some is a form of rebellion, and there's now a less way to rebel.
Across the Pacific, the contrast is clear.
Meanwhile, in America, we have an 80-year-old man begging us for 4 more years of work. Begging.
Chinese may not be allowed to mock their own leader, but just like in America, mocking the U.S. president is fair game. Somebody made a joke like that in China about Xi Jinping. They would disappear and probably not reappear for a very long time. U.S.-China relations are at a 50-year low, Aaron, and China, frankly, is losing influence in the West. So what they're trying to do is they're tightening their grip on power at home. And the way that you do it, if you're a dictatorship, entertainment, crack down on entertainment. The fact that performers have to actually submit their scripts and set lists ahead of time to make sure they're patriotic sufficiently, it's just mind-boggling. But that is what comedians and all performers in China are facing right now, Aaron.